how Toussaint Louverture took a stand for Haiti. In 1791, the Haitians began to have a revolution against the Europeans and their evil ways of slavery. There did have to be a war, but Haiti emerged victoriously, and that victory freed thousands of people. Toussaint Louverture liberated the entire country, giving freedom to them all the way up through history, and the country has been free ever since. In 1791, there was a problem, a big one at that: slavery. Most, if not all, people of African descent in Haiti were enslaved. Toussaint Louverture's father was a prince named Gauguin. However, he was captured by slave traders. This is what I believe started the spark for getting rid of slavery and taking a stand for all slaves. Now, at the time, Napoleon Bonaparte was basically the best general ever. That statement, however, was disproved by Toussaint Louverture. Something that supports this is, and I quote, "In 1791, the slave population revolted, led by Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and Henry Christophe, and gained control of the northern part of the French colony, waging a war of attrition against the French. By January 1804, local forces defeated an army sent by Napoleon Bonaparte, established independence from France, and renamed the area Haiti." In my own words, Napoleon sent an army to fight them, but an army of untaught slaves led by Toussaint defeated the army, and not only gained their own freedom, but their independence as a country as well. In the 1780s and 90s, the usual thing that happened during a slave revolt was the enslavers just killed them or tortured them. Toussaint's attempt, however, was millions of times more effective and helpful than anything anybody else tried, and he had to defeat 3 countries to do it. At first, when he beat Napoleon's army and the Spanish and the British, all of Haiti was freed. But shortly after, he was captured and believedly killed by Napoleon. Toussaint's death did sadden the country, but they kept on going and then named the country Haiti. After that, they gained total independence and have been a free and independent country ever since. So in that way, many people might not know of Toussaint's name or where he came from, but they do or have at least heard of his legacy. Now, Toussaint did end up dying, but he fought to the best of his ability, even if most people thought he had none. And he didn't die in vain of his cause, because not only did he free Haiti, he gave all slaves a sense of new hope that they had never had before. Toussaint fought against multiple countries and fought through hatred to, in the long run, free a country. Even if he had an army of slaves against 3 military-trained armies with more experience in combat than any of his slaves in Haiti. Toussaint himself didn't even have half the education of Napoleon and the rest of the generals of the militaries he fought through. And while the country did establish freedom, they now live on a divided island. On one side, it is Haiti. On the other, it is the Dominican Republic, otherwise known as Hispaniola, which was property of the Spanish back then and never got driven back out. Now they live as 2 countries on the same island, even though their culture is worlds apart. Now this is a result of Spain conquering the majority of the island early on, and France everything that was left. So when Toussaint drove the French out, the Spaniards remained on the other side of the island. And then Haiti was formed on one side and the Dominican Republic on the other. Another fact most people do not know on this subject is that Toussaint died of pneumonia. Not from torture or murder, which back then was pretty merciful. He died of pneumonia because Napoleon Bonaparte asked to meet with him to discuss what would happen to discuss what would happen to the land that Toussaint had captured. When Toussaint arrived, Napoleon's troops seized him and locked him away in a cell far away from where his army could help recapture him. When he was in the cell, they rarely gave him food and water, and on top of that, it was very cold and dirty, which made a breeding ground for a bunch of deadly diseases to start killing him. But eventually, he caught pneumonia, and with little to no medical attention, ended up dying from it. In conclusion, Toussaint had almost no education, zero military training when he was young, and no experience in that specific kind of combat. Yet he prevailed and was victorious against France, Britain, and Spanish forces with an army made of almost all slaves. And the revolution against the Europeans and their evil ways of slavery was successful. And so that was how Toussaint Louverture fought for the rights of Haiti and took a stand to end the slavery in what is now Hispaniola / the Dominican Republic and Haiti.